Anime has some of the best music. Konnichiwa minasan, Yonggi-baka desu. Watashi no channel to atarashi video e yokoso. Whether it be made for or chosen from a collective, anime has some of the best music. And on occasion has even encouraged me to watch a new anime. But before we begin, I'd just like to give a disclaimer. You may hear noise coming from outside my window, and that's just construction on the building. Not something outlandish like building a Gundam, of course. I know I've said this before somewhere on this channel, but of the things that I love more than anime, at the top of the list is music. And usually it works in reverse, where I'll begin watching an anime and find myself liking the music for said anime. But Kiro Senshi Gundam 00's had an OP that I instantly fell in love with over a decade ago, even before ever watching the anime. Let me begin by saying I'm by no means a mech enthusiast. As I grew up, I began to find them extremely unfeasible. They're cool looking, sure, but they're more aesthetically pleasing than anything else. As a kid, I loved mechs, but as I grew up, I began to find how impractical they are. Gundams will always set the gold seal when it comes to mechs, as they were the OGs, and they'll always be cool as quack. This begins back in 2005 when Kiro Senshi Gundam Shiro aired on YTV, and younger Yonggi was enthralled by the experience, the cool looking Gundams, space battles, sounds, and everything else that would capture the attention of a young boy's heart who didn't know any better. I want to go back to that time. A couple years later, towards the end of the 2000s, when YouTube became super mega popular, I found myself on the site looking to find the Gundam Shiro openings to give them another listen. They're a collection of DDR-S techno-driven themes with fast-paced tempos and electronic elements. And on the side of suggested videos, there was a video for something called Ash Like Snow by The Brilliant Green. Both the song and band name catching my attention at the time. When I first heard Ash Like Snow, I fell in love with it, and over the decades have returned to it every time I'm feeling a certain way. And now with the times, it's become a staple of my rotation, transcendent to me and hitting deeply every time it's played. I've always been a punk rocker at heart, learning how to play the guitar to become a rock star myself one day. And the opening guitar notes instantly grabbed my attention and pulled me in. The rest of the band comes crashing in, providing a steady pulse that edged my angsty heart. After a 7-note lead guitar melody is repeated, an alluring voice takes over, painting the song with a certain chagrin. And for me, it's the voice and vocal runs that draws forth time after time the same angst-filled emotions, proving that it wasn't just a phase. The title, Ash Like Snow, in itself is pretty heavy. And I love titles that are meaningful and evoke a strong emotional response. The simile capturing the desolation one would feel as the world around you burns. And as it's echoed throughout the song is a poignantly beautiful reminder. Every time I hear Kawase Tomoko, the lead singer's voice in Ash Like Snow, I fall in love with it as if listening to it for the first time. From yearning and soft to power-filled cries, her voice is sultry and emotion-filled in all of the best ways. being what I would describe as passionately attractive and cathartically moving. Call me a simp or whatever you wanna, but Ash Like Snow just makes me feel something so deeply. I always picture a crisp night sky and the ashes of my memories, both recent and not, falling before my eyes, capturing all that I yearn for, you name it. Of course, a large portion of my adoration could be attributed to Tomoko's voice. Needless to say, it fills me with butterflies all flapping their wings to its sound. Towards the end of June, Gundam 00's became available on Crunchyroll. Couple that with a deep-rooted depression beginning to settle in. I thought that listening to Ash Like Snow via the anime it was an opening for would be cathartic in some type of way. And as it rang through my speakers for the first time, I audibly squealed. It being the second opening, it was what I was looking forward to the most. The first OP, Daybreak's Bell by Larkin Seal, pulled at my heartstrings for similar reasons. Another rock song with scattered English phrases throughout, which captured my attention for two reasons. The first being the lyrics themselves, and the second their delivery by the band's frontman, who employs a smooth chest voice and finishes the line with a falsetto. Again, it's the vocals that make the song something special to me. This time a male's that provides a rich fluidity to the song that's pleasant to the ears. And much like the Brilliant Green's Ash Like Snow, the band provides a steady pulse giving the song vibrancy and color, layering the foundation for something pensively euphoric. Of all the words I could mainly distinguish from both of the openings, mainly just the English ones, I could discern that they're all hauntingly tainted with a similar melancholic motif, capturing the inner turmoil that our main character in Gundam 00 goes through. Gundam 00 follows the life of a soldier named Setsuna F. Sete, who as a young boy loses both his home and family to war, and is saved by a Gundam, vowing to one day become a pilot, joining a secret organization with the aims of uniting humanity by presenting a domineering force to end all of Earth's internal conflicts with force. Now that I'm a bit older and able to identify the faculties of war, both the physical and metaphysical, another dimension is added to Ash Like Snow, the catalyst that recaptured my interest in the Kido Senshi Gundam series. Not so much for the Gundams themselves, as they're merely tools to wage war, but for the emotional resonance that the stories deliver. Maybe one day humankind will get to witness Gundams fighting to protect our planet. Maybe there are already prototypes hidden in Area 51. Who's to say? All I know is that if I were to ever pilot a Gundam robot, you better bet that I'll be blasting Ash Like Snow from inside my cockpit and rocking out with my Gundam out on the front lines. Kyou wa kono hen desu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Zutto genki de ite ne. Ja, mata ne.